Well, the major issues I uncovered at Stephanie Jonsson's house in the indoor air quality area would be gas leaks that are in the water heater and the furnace. We know that there's water leakage coming under several of the doors in the back of the house, and there's probably mold growth under the flooring because of that continual water exposure. We've looked at the electrical environment there, and we found that the electric fields in the bedroom are placing very high levels of electric fields in the master bedroom and in the front bedroom. That's one of the children, and then the parents. And those were rated in the extreme concern area, easily reduced, and we were able to reduce that. The levels of communications radiations, once we removed the Wi-Fi and the cordless phone they had in their house, fell to probably a tolerable level.
When we tested Stephanie's house, we found that there was all kinds of energy leaks throughout her ceiling, her walls, her doors, her windows. And there was also issues with her furnace, particularly in the space that it was in. It didn't have proper ventilation, didn't have proper return air, and most of the air sources were clogged up with debris. We also found that she had missing insulation throughout many parts of the house and parts of the attic, and there were actually holes right through the roof and various places that needed to be addressed, where energy was just escaping. When I did the solar shade analysis at Stephanie's house, I found that her house to be a great candidate for solar. She had minimal trees, minimal shading issues, and her house rooftop was in great shape to take a solar system.
Okay, so here are the main things that we'd like to have done in our house. Our first priority are the cosmetic issues, and number one being that we need to replace our doors, the doors that have leaked and caused a lot of damage on our living room floors. We're going to do dual pane, energy efficient, watertight doors. We then need to replace the floors that were damaged. We need to repaint and replaster, and then we're going to move upstairs and replace the carpet. I'm going to work with Livingreen on some sort of a solution to the allergies in my family upstairs. I need to repaint up there. I want the products to be as green and non-toxic as possible. And then redo the bathroom upstairs. As far as the things that Larry and Wayne were talking about, that was a real education, and I learned a lot about how this house functions and the health of my house. We have always had issues with the temperature and comfort level, and we found out through Wayne that there are some pretty simple remedies we can do. And in talking to my family, we decided that we could probably do at least some insulation and some solar shades to reduce some of the heat that's coming into the house. He pointed out some holes in our house where the energy is leaking. Our main goal in the short term is to seal up the house in the most cost-effective way. And then we also talked to him about putting in a solar system. That's not something that we can do now, but he did explain to us all the incentives, and it makes a lot of sense, and we are interested in doing that at some point. Moving on to the building health side, Larry did some readings on the electromagnetic frequencies upstairs in our sleeping areas, and discovered that our readings are sort of off the chart. And so he explained how that was affecting negatively our sleep and our energy levels throughout the day. And he discussed with us some remedies for that. One of them being as simple as putting a special sheet in our bed that it gets grounded outside, that's not very expensive and takes away some of that energy away from our bodies. He also discussed powering down the computers and TVs at night, and that's something that we will do also. Also, Larry talked a lot about things that exacerbate allergies, of which my kids and husband suffer. So we know that the carpeting is an issue, we know that the bedding can be an issue, we know that the pillows can be an issue, we know that the bed can be an issue. So those are all areas that we're considering replacing to keep the allergens at bay. We have budgeted about $30,000 to do the more immediate things that we need to do. Some of these other recommendations that have been made are probably going to happen within the next year or two, but right now budget does dictate some of our decisions. So I'm really looking forward to the next phase, which is the fun part, and that is I'm looking forward to going into Livingreen to meet with Ellen to see all of the different materials that we can use and to just get a little more specific about some of these things that we want to do to move this project forward and get our house functioning and looking the way I want it to look.
After a customer's house has been evaluated for energy efficiency, health issues, structural problems that may have come up, part of our service then is to work with the customer to help them through that process of selecting materials. What we have created for this process is something called Shades of Green. It's an environmental education product evaluation program that allows us as well as the customers to really compare products for how appropriate they are for the job, as well as how environmentally friendly they are, and health. So for example, if someone has chemical sensitivities or health challenges that they're also trying to take care of in this remodel, we can help them assess products for how they will best fit for that project or job. One of the first things that we have to determine with clients from the very beginning is what kind of budget they're working with. A lot of the time, what we think we want or what we've seen in pictures or that kind of thing is actually not within the range of financially what we are capable of doing. The variety of materials available will be determined by that number many times. And it also can be that there are several different criteria we're trying to match. One could be health, one could be practicality, and then there's simply pure aesthetic, what people like and what they think is going to look nice in their home. So it's almost like working backwards. We take that budget number and then we try to see what is going to make sense for getting the job done. There are some circumstances with clients too where we may not have the product in hand that they would like to order. We have something similar but maybe not the exact thing that they're interested in. In those cases, we will either help the customer find something through product search and research on the web, or we will simply make a referral to them to some of the other companies we know that have like-minded products available that may help with their job. Once all the decisions are made, the materials have been chosen, the project has basically been fleshed out, we can either help the client find some installers and fabricators for materials, or they may have their own list of people they want to work with. Either way is fine for us. We will make sure that however this is going to proceed, they have the people they need in place and that they can feel satisfied the job will be completed on time, within budget, and with the satisfaction and look that they're actually going after.
Thank you so much for taking so much time with me. I feel so much better about this project that started out to be so overwhelming. And I just want to thank you and your team to take as much time with me to show me the different possibilities that I didn't even know existed. And so I'm looking forward to bringing these things home, seeing how they're going to work in my house and moving forward.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, we look forward to you coming back too. Thanks, Stephanie.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.